hate reading books? Studies have shown that the EToH player's intelligence rate measures an average of around -20 IQ. Obviously, this includes me, you, and the femboys that make 80% of our player base, and it is constantly decreasing at a severe rate. But recently, we have found a potential solution. If you can't read the book, why not play it? We have adapted several stories into towns. With every floor you turn comes a cliche plot twist that comes purely from the imagination of the author, guaranteed to have you groaning, moaning, and leaving a horrible rating. Come join us at Ring 8, the Starlit Arch. Just like how your parents read a bedtime story to you at night, that doesn't mean I can't do the same. So sit down and let me take their place. Just for a couple of minutes. I am your parents, but instead of reading stories, I'll be playing them. You must be thinking, that sounds boring as shit. Okay, thankfully, I can do something your mom can't. That is, giving my brutally honest thoughts and opinions on the story, rating the towers out of 10 in gameplay, design, and creativity, as well as my personal difficulty rating, because I'm sure all of us know. The difficulty ratings for some towers can be just as inaccurate as men when they pee. Anyways, this will contain major spoilers for Starlit Archives, but the subrun has been out for like 2 months already, doesn't really matter. Without further ado, let's get to the towers! Starting off the Starlit Archive strong with the infamous Tower of Lethean Recollection. Despite it being the easiest here, there is a reason why this is one of the most top-rated towers in this subrealm. The gameplay could use some work, but hey, at least the story is better than whatever Marvel is doing. And that's an achievement, I must say. Actually, no, it isn't really. Like, you could literally write anything and Marvel would be worse. Why am I elaborating? I'll just read the script. EToH's story ventures through our mind to recollect forgotten memories. And I'm not going to get into it because it truly is better experienced in game, not through some random person half explaining it to you. In all seriousness, this really was just a good but tragic story. I can tell there was a lot of effort put into the plot because the pacing is so meticulously executed. I like that it slowly goes from emo colors back to actual color as we go further into the tower, which makes this tower really immerse you into the story. What a strong first impression of this subrealm. Here is my rating. I couldn't tell if I liked this tower or not. Actually, that's for a lot of towers here, but this one's game in particular was good at being fun and horrible at the same time. At least in my opinion. Whatever. I'm confusing myself. Anyways, today we have a very important promotion that we can't be late for. But surprise, surprise, we end up taking a funny little detour and accidentally time traveling into the past, then the future, and then back into the present where we end up late. It turns out it was our coworker who we barely even knew beforehand that built the time machine to make us late to our promotion so he can take CEO for himself and help his dying son. Well, to me, I personally find him obnoxious and I can give a shit. But who knows, maybe some of you guys chose to help him. Also, why does this tower suddenly turn serious after the same guy made a train slip on a banana peel? I don't get it, like, just pick one. Also, I hate how no matter what you choose, both endings are good. What is this illusion of choice, man? Hi, future Sleepy Lemon here. I forgot what this tower is like, so I had to play it a second time. That is how forgettable it is. And I know that everybody hates this tower. It really is not the best, but to be honest, this is like a classic tower trying to mimic modern gameplay. Like if Oberyn time traveled 8 years into the future after making EToH's to see how his game is going, and oh, good old Jupiter 5 is in a bit of a messy pants situation. Yes, it's something you would see in Ring 5, but don't you think it's a bit overhated though? Anyways, time to yell and scream. I feel like the classic design was an intended artistic choice here, but I do think they could have done better. Like, why is it Minecraft? Why are all the characters and the story? It's barely developed, guys. There's no motive for this guy who steals souls for a living. Why? For fun? Does he need souls for nutrition or something? And this boss fight, talk about underwhelming. This somehow makes something worse than the Tower of Your Late for Work boss, and that was literally just a recap floor. This is truly the epitome of doing the bare minimum. I can't read. Steeple of Balloon Commune is about a balloon who was arrested by the Neon Throne, and now all his balloon friends are trying to rescue him, including us. But right now, you must be wondering, why am I recording in such a public space? It is to represent the quality of this Steeple's gameplay. Horrible. Tell me how someone makes this and then thinks to themselves, yeah, I really outdid myself with this one, and then send it to the EToH's staff. Also, which one of those curators let this in the game? This is arcane area gameplay and design. It's a disease. I personally diagnose it with creativity over gameplay syndrome, which is unfortunately becoming much more common these days. Like, the mechanics are creative, but they play out so awful, it hurts my heart. It's like the creator of SOBC just completely gave up by the second half of the Steeple. This is C+ material, and I would call this gameplay the worst in the whole entire subrealm. But there's another tower I've yet to mention. But for now, here's my super mega awesome sauce rating. Top 3 things I will never know. True love. What is under Lucas's bed? How the hell this got first place in the story contest? Literally what? This doesn't even have a story. It's literally just a school, but scary and haunted with these things. 90% of your time in the Steeple is spent figuring out the puzzles that make you read a whole paragraph. And if you are at least the average EToH player, you should know that it is in our natural instinct to not read signs in towers. Why? Do you think I joined this damn Steeple to read a whole science textbook? No! Look at this. Do you think that this is enjoyable? There's barely any actual gameplay, and when there is, it is a snooze fest. It contains the 3 major factors that make temporary tower gameplay the type of gameplay that is only worthy to be in the actual game for a month. Unenjoyable, uninteresting, and most importantly, underwhelmingly obnoxious. And what makes me the most pissed off is that it shows us this amazing demon snake thing at the end, and we don't even get to fight it. We just walk for the last few minutes until we win. That is so anticlimactic. How sad. But keep in mind, just because this gets a higher rating doesn't mean I enjoy this Steeple. The creativity points definitely do not come from the story. It's only because of the puzzles. Also, why is this Steeple so damn dark? I don't even know about this subrealm anymore, guys. A lot of towers here just have gameplay that is worth dying for. And then there's the gameplay that causes you to die. And then there's this, where I don't even know anymore. I genuinely think that the gameplay did improve by the second half, while the design instantly decreases at the same time. It's like the Steeple gives and takes. However, in this context, that's a bad thing. Because, what? What am I looking at? Seriously, I like the story as well, but the execution... it's just so... Anyways, the story surrounds us, who is a prisoner at Serpentville City, and we are sent to a factory to gather scraps. However, this huge creature is actually an intellect, and, eats us. It turns out one of our coworkers actually got consumed by the monster and then did whatever this is. And actually, we got arrested because the police thought we killed them. So yes, this is literally just a TOIR copy, but actually no, because he turned into Omega Flowey. This is probably one of the best boss fights, but only if you have a Mr. Beast of a PC, but sadly I didn't. So this boss fight gave me as much enjoyment as choking on my own spit while my dad pees in my mouth. Here is my rating. Here's my rating. Here is a steeple that is actually what I imagine, what goes through the mind of someone who just recently got a lobotomy. So to pay homage, I will leave a clip of Subway Surfers gameplay in the bottom right corner. Enjoy. There isn't really an actual story to this. It's literally just you waiting for your cup noodles in the microwave. And then you get zapped into the microwave for some reason. And then like the pure radiance of the microwave beams electrify you into the future. And now you can time travel into the future. And you can see how the cup noodles have greatly affected the world so severely. The destruction, the pure chaos that your microwave cup noodles have caused. And then zaps you back into the present. Cool gameplay. I mean, it's a Zacro tower, so I guess cool design too. Oh, and also Adam Lee.
I got a bunch of wolves, they are down there.
Yes, this is truly what enjoyable means. A good, engaging story. Supporting it with breathtaking, supreme TONN quality design, as well as amazing gameplay that surprisingly holds up well under 20 FPS. So basically the story goes, we, as the awesome person we play as, work a boring, depressing job. When we stumble upon something called an umbrella that turns the damp, cold streets into an adult version of a McDonald's play place. This is basically just the tower's way of saying drug, and the umbrella's world is a way of saying hi. Hi. We get high from the umbrella, you get where this is going. After having our daily existential crisis at our job, we decide to bring the umbrella everywhere we go now, and eventually we get hooked on it to the point where it gets us fired. And you know what we do about it? Use the umbrella, baby, let's go. But luckily, we had someone at our former workplace that actually cares about us, and even more luckily, knows about umbrellas and rescues us from the addictive grasp of the umbrella world. Everywhere you go in this tower, there's always something to appreciate with the attention to detail, like how some words in the dialogue are emphasized or differently colored, which is really the cherry on the top. This is what I'm talking about. Another tower that focuses on the gameplay, design, story, and creativity. Waiter, this is a bit too much for me to eat. TOIR's gameplay, while I wouldn't say it's the best, is what I found instead to be the most interesting. It uses its own custom client objects called red swings, and believe it or not, they gave the mechanics their own backstory. This is truly the peak of JToH, the most innovative invention since spamming your nets everywhere in your tower to make it loop faily. Name one other tower that gives its clients objects lore. Exactly. Now about the actual tower story. It follows us, an employee, working for a corrupt company called Inno Inc. So basically, we have to explore their old headquarters that is actually filled to the brim with their robot slaves. The minute ChatGPT sees this tower, it will tweak out and notify the AI hood, Google Gemini, Siri, Character AI, and they will assemble an army that dominates the human race. It will happen. Stop, guys. We need to actually stop advancing our technology. What are we doing? Anyways, we are commanded to steal the system heart, which powers the robot employees, and if we don't, Inc. kills us. Isn't that awesome? Actually, turns out this whole time for the past 75 years, the robots have developed feelings, so they quite literally are humans, and oh, this sounds familiar. There are two endings. One where we refuse to take the system heart and we end up dying, and the other one is where we take the heart and the robots die instead of us. Do you recall the nursery rhyme? Long before Kato was even Jato, long before you were even an actual functional human being today watching this video, and instead struggling to walk in a daycare center. No. Well, it goes like this. Itsy the spider was enjoying life with his family at the top of the wall, until Ren the rain cloud forced Itsy down. With Itsy at the bottom of the wall, and separated from his loved ones, he convinced a tiny human he found to beat up Ren the rain cloud, using the power of the sun. After long years of waiting, Itsy finally climbs back up through the spout. But there's this choice to not let him, which I did because I thought it would be funny, but I didn't realize it was a whole other ending that just makes Itzy's family wait in silence forever. And they wonder if their loving father will come back. I guess not. It's all my fault. Also, I really liked the boss fights, but the last one is kind of underwhelming, I will admit. Half the time, you just stand there. Here's my rating.
Here is my rating.
Here is my rating. I'm so lost. My parents left me when I was 5, and ever since, everything went rock bottom. Life was so hard for me, and all I can do now is reminisce on the past. I found EToH's plot hard to follow, especially when it showed our dad's head gone and all our childhood memories. Like, what is that supposed to mean if it's all fake? I don't get it. And I hate how it's a cliffhanger at the end. You really don't need more than one tower to tell a story. And if I recall correctly, some rebels try to convince us to shut the whole simulation down. We didn't even get much info on them or their past or who they actually are. Plus, their so-called motive to shut it down was barely elaborated further. I'm just saying, my Letterboxd rating is not looking good for this movie. Tower. The gameplay was okay, but honestly, it was just as forgettable as the story. On the other hand, it used the client objects in ways that were kind of creative to me, so I will give it that. Okay, before you call me really cool insults in the comments, I just want you to hear me out for a second. I know that a lot of people want to burn this tower to the ground, but I'm just saying you can't burn something that's already fire. This tower story, I feel, was complete. It tied everything together in a satisfying way. Let me explain, even though the sub-realm was out for a whole 2 months already. In Tower Warranted Retribution, we are a poor brokey who turns to working as a hitman for money. So after our first or second kill, we start to realize, oh no, maybe killing innocent people for money wasn't matching up to my morals after all. And then we get caught up in our guilt, and whoops, we get hit by a truck so hard we actually transcend into the fourth dimension and acquire the power that revives all the people we killed, releasing our guilt, and we plead for forgiveness. Look, there they are. They look good as new. There actually is another ending where we fake kill our third target, kill our boss, and then get arrested. I honestly do like how there's no quote-unquote good ending for us. It makes things a bit more realistic. I feel like the reason why many despise this tower is because of the gameplay. And I can definitely see why, but this seemed like it was intended choice. Look at the design. Do you think this looks like the Roblox today? I bet you. Ask any 8-year-old grinding their booty cheeks on Grow Garden wouldn't even know who Shidletsky was. They would just say, it's that guy from Forsaken. I feel like this is also the same reason why EToH's gameplay isn't as modern too. But yeah. Before I express my thoughts about this tower, let us list the things that it does right. And by things, I mean one singular thing that it does right. Design, as in the atmosphere. This tower does scare you pretty nicely. But other than that, this tower is a literal nightmare to play. Who hurt this person so much that they had to make this tower's gameplay? Please help is every desperate thought that goes through your dying, rotting mind as you proceed to loop fail the same section of EToH'Wh for a whole hour. Yes, an hour of your life wasted on the sad excuse of a Omori wannabe, and yes, I am aware of the story being about divorce. Actually, playing this gameplay again would make anyone want to divorce. This is the result of a kidnapped 5-year-old child's decomposing remains, and it's starting to smell. The organs are starting to rot. It stinks so horribly, you can smell it through the screen. This tower is a mental illness, is my rating. Excuse the sloppy gameplay in this footage. I was playing this tower with nails at the time, like full-on acrylic nails. Welcome to Tower of Fleeing from Everything Ending, where we explore the mindscape of Connor, who was used by his dad for experimenting. And that's literally it. No development, no pacing, no. It's not even a story, it's just something that they say at the end. And yeah, the tower is cool, yeah, it teleports you to different weird environments and it's random. That's the only thing that differentiates it from all the other towers. Have you seen this tower's gameplay? It's mediocre at best. Yes, I see the ideas for the gameplay and story, but the overall execution is like a nothing burger. You get the burger, you order the cheeseburger, and it turns out they forgot the cheese, and it's a vegan patty. Actually, there is no patty. It's just buns, just plain buns. This gameplay makes me doubt this tower was even tested. And this design, it's just towers like these make me want to go back to Kotal. Really, the only thing I liked about this tower was how visual artsy it is, and the cinema ending. Only the ending. Other than that, it's nothing special.
Two genies in a bottle, up in the starry sky.
Meet Pink Sauce's little brother, Green Sauce. Y'all, we blended Hulk. We smashed him up. We Hulk smashed. Okay. Fun fact, this was my last tower before completing the sub-realm. You know what else is a fun fact? The timed, punishing, difficulty spiked, hard to sight read 10-minute long final stretch that makes this steeple the longest cannon steeple in the game. And yes, I wanted to shove my head through a bread slicer after I failed it not 1, not 3, but 2 times. However, unlike a lot of other people, This gameplay really stuck with me, so I guess that made up for it. Also, I like how the frame is a slice of oily, greasy pizza. Speaking of which, the story follows a chef working for an evil, malicious pizza place called Vinny's Pizza. Apparently, there are lethal substances in the sauce, and for all of the SOCV haters, I'll give you all some coupons for Vinny's Pizza, or maybe hide some of his pizza sauce in your cabinets so you'll use it later. But if you're still alive to hear me say, my experience on this tower was pretty enjoyable. Bonus creativity points for the humor. Why don't you just Tionar's little brother? Shut up. Something I will never understand is how this got lowest in the story contest ranking when something like this exists. And while I do understand that, yes, the story is purely hot dog buns, I can't even summarize it because I don't even know what it's about. The gameplay and design are mere perfection. The music, the atmosphere, and I find that the gameplay is a flawless mix between client object based gameplay and purist gameplay, which is not something you come across every day, but I think it should. Whoever made this gameplay, you deserve my respect, my money, my smile, my Discord nitro, more muscles, huge dick, all the girls and boys, and most importantly, verified builder status in the EToH Discord server. But if you also made this story, maybe I take that back. Here's my rating. Well, I guess we covered all the towers. But you must be asking, Sleepy Lemon, why isn't the video ending yet? Shit's boring as fuck. And I politely advise you in response to respectfully shut your pie hole, because I have yet to calculate the average rating for the area. Only the stamp machine will work. This doesn't include the highest or lowest rating, just to even it out. So, in conclusion, the Starlit Archives average is... To be honest, I did bite off a lot more than I could chew while making this video because I forgot to mention the fact that the Starlit Archives contains a whopping 16 towers. In what alternate universe did I actually finish this video when I planned? Because progress on this started in June. Anyhow, diddly do, that's it. I might do another video like this on another subrealm, but I guess this is goodbye for now. Thank you for tuning in to my channel.